Hello dear students, welcome back to All for e-learning classes. This is intermediate first year political science or civics. This is Venkateshwarlu Manchigatla, lecturer in civics, All for Education Institutions, Telangana. Dear students, yesterday we discussed some points. Now I want to continuation the last session. So what is the last session? The scope of political science. That is the last topic. Now before going to continuation of this topic, I would like to give important points of the last classes. What are the important last points? Meaning of the political science, definitions of the political science, about Greek city-states, about Aristotle, some of the important points of the scope of political science. What is the political science? Political science is the study of political science is the study of state and government. Dear students, here you remember once again, state means here country in political science. Then what are the definitions of political science? One of the important definition of J.W. Garner, political science begins and ends with the state. Political science begins and ends with the state. According to Stephen Leacock, political science deals with the government. According to these two definitions, we can understand that political science studies about state and government. Then the word politics is derived from a Greek word polis, P-O-L-I-S. It is a Greek word. In Greek language, polis means city-state. City-states were existed during the period of Aristotle. What are the important Greek city-states? Athens, Sparta, Corinth, Milan, Macedonia, etc. Then Aristotle is called as a father of political science because he separated the political science from philosophy and developed it as a separate independent subject. Hence, he was called as a father of political science. Then, we discussed some important points of scope of political science, like the study of man in relation to society, state, government. 2. The study of state. 3. The study of government. 4. The study of associations and institutions. These are the last class of important points. Now I am going to start the continuation. The fifth one is the study of rights and duties. Now political science explains what is meant by rights. It gives the definitions to the rights. It explains the classification of rights. Now here, what is the meaning of rights? The rights are nothing but conditions for the development of the personality of the individuals. In other words, rights are nothing but conditions for all-round development of the individuals. All-round development means the development in all sectors: social sector, political sector, economic sector, so and so. Next, the political science gives definitions to the rights. Here I am going to give one definition of Bosanquet. According to him, right is a claim. Right is a claim. When the claim is recognized by society and enforced by state, it will become right. Right is a claim recognized by society and implemented by state. That is the definition of Bosanke about right. Then political science discusses the classification of rights. Classification of rights. Now I am going to draw a classification of rights. First, the rights are broadly divided into three categories, namely natural rights, 2 moral rights, 3 legal rights. 3 legal rights. Legal rights again divided into three types. Legal rights again divided into three types. One is civil rights, 2 political rights, 3 economic rights. So it is a classification of rights. Once again, the rights are broadly divided into three categories: natural rights, moral rights, legal rights. We can acquire the natural rights by birth. We can enjoy the moral rights by morally. Legal rights are provided by laws of the state or constitution. Then legal rights are divided into three categories: civil rights, political rights, and economic rights. What are the examples for the natural rights? Right to life, it is the first and foremost right of the individuals. Then right to property, etc. Then what are the examples for the moral rights? It is a right of a teacher to receive the respect from his students. 1. 2. It is a right of the parents to receive the help from their children, etc. These are the moral rights. Next, what are the civil rights? Right to life, right to equality, right to freedom, right to religion, right to education, right to family, right to property, etc. These are civil rights. Right to life, right to equality, right to freedom, right to religion, right to family, right to education, etc. What are the political rights? Right to vote, right to contest in the elections, right to hold public offices, right to criticize the government, etc. What are the economic rights? Right to work, right to leisure, right to social security in case of illness, right to get wages. These are the economic rights. Then I am going to explain about duties. Like rights, duties. Here what is meant by duty? Duty is a responsibility of the individuals. Responsibility of the individuals or citizens. Individuals or citizens towards others and state. Towards others and states. It is the meaning of duty. What is the duty? Duty is a responsibility of the individuals or citizens towards others and state. And I am going to explain about the duties. Here the scope of political science includes the study of duties. Classification of duties. Like rights, duties are also classified into two types. One is moral duties. moral duties. Second one is legal duties. Legal duties again divided into two types: positive duties, second negative duties. Negative duties. These duties can be performed by the individuals based on moral values. Example: respecting the teachers, respecting the parents, respecting the elders, helping the poor, etc. Whereas legal duties are performed by the individuals based on laws of the state or constitution. Example: obeying the laws of the state, paying the taxes, use of franchise or right to vote in times of elections. These are the legal duties. Legal duties are recognized and protected by the state, whereas moral duties are not recognized by the state. Hence, there is no protection to the moral duties, there is a protection to the legal duties. Legal duties again divided into two types: positive duties and negative duties. Positive duties say what to do, whereas negative duties say what not to do. What are the examples for positive duties? Obeying the laws of the state, paying the taxes to the government in time, proper use of right to vote in times of elections. The best example of negative duty is not to destroy the public property. Not to destroy the public property. So it is the classification of duties. Then it also explains the relationship between the rights and duties. It also explains the relationship between rights and duties. So what is the relationship between rights and duties? Complementary relation. Complementary relation means without rights there are no duties. In the same way, without duties there are no rights. These are like two sides of a coin. Two sides of a coin. Every coin has two sides. One is head, another one is tail. Without head or without tail, it is not considered as a coin. In the same way, without rights and without duties, there is no development of the individuals. Here I am going to explain about the essence of the rights and duties. Rights and duties are very essential for the all-round development of the individuals. So without rights and duties, there is no development of the individuals. So all these things are a part of the scope of political science. Then I am going to explain the study of national and international issues. The study of national and international issues. As part of scope, the political science explains the various issues which are related to nations and international. First, it explains about various types of national issues. What are the important national issues? Today, there are two important issues. One is territorial integrity. Territorial integrity. Second one is sovereignty. These are the two important national issues of every state. It is a responsibility or it is an obligation of every state to protect its territorial integrity and sovereignty. Territorial integrity means the protection of territory from other countries. In the recent past, we observed one thing, that is India faced this problem from China in Galwana Valley near China border. In this situation, our Indian government employed or deployed our military in the border, but unfortunately we lost 20 soldiers. Then sovereignty. Sovereignty means supreme power of the state. Supreme power of the state. It is also one of the important duty of the state to protect its sovereignty. Protect its sovereignty. While preparing its policies, either internally or externally, the government must keep in mind these two factors. One is territorial integrity, another one is sovereignty. Then, political science explains different types of international issues. International issues. At present, world countries are facing so many problems, like Cold War, terrorism, imbalance of power, then use of arms. These are the present international issues. These issues will threaten the international peace and security. All these things will threaten the international peace and security. Hence, to promote the international peace and security, we set up a number of international organizations. So what are the important international organizations which will promote the international peace and security? Example, UNO, SAARC, EU, NAM, United Nations Organization, South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation, European Union, Non-Aligned Movement, and some of the important agencies of UNO also putting efforts for promoting the international peace and security and promoting coordination cooperation among the world countries. Which agencies of the UNO? ILO, WHO, WTO, UNESCO, UNICEF, FAO, IAEO, etc. These are some of the specialized agencies of UNO. Like these international organizations putting efforts for promoting international peace and security and promoting the friendly relations among the countries. Now, another point is the study of comparative governments and politics. Political science explains different types of world governments and their structure. In the world, various types of governments are there. At present, some modern governments like unitary government, federal government, parliamentary government, presidential government. Through comparative study, we can understand the differences between various governments. Example, I am going to give one example, that is the differences between unitary government, federal government, unitary government and federal government. Then parliamentary government, presidential government. Now, what are the differences between the unitary government and federal government? You see, in unitary government, there is only one government, that is central government. There are no state governments. In federal government, there are two governments. One is central government, another one is state government. In unitary system, one government is there. In federal system, two governments are there. That is the first and foremost difference between these two governments. And one more important difference, in unitary government, total powers are in the hands of central government. That is centralization of powers. In federal system, the total powers are divided between central government and state governments. That is called as a division of powers. Division of powers. Then, in parliamentary system, executive is responsible to the legislature. Executive is responsible to the legislature in parliamentary system. Whereas in presidential system, executive is not responsible to the legislature. In parliamentary system, executive is responsible to the legislature. Whereas in presidential system, executive is not responsible to the legislature. Here, through comparative study, we can understand the differences between various governments, like the difference between unitary government and federal government, and difference between parliamentary government and presidential government. The scope of political science includes the different political systems also. Political science explains different types of political systems. Now I am going to explain these political systems through political party systems. In the world, different political party systems are existed, like one party system. In one party system, only one party will be there. It is existing in China, Russia. In some countries, two party system is existing, like USA and UK or England. Multi-party system is existing in India. In multi-party system, different political parties are there. Through comparative study, we can understand what are the differences among these political party systems, like one party system, two party system, and multi-party system. Then, the study of modern political analysis. Study of modern political analysis. The political science studies about power. Some political philosophers considered political science is the science of power. The science of power. Here some political philosophers like 20th century behavioralists. 20th century behavioralists considered that political science is a study of power. Study of power. They considered it as a science of power. Science of power. Who said that? 20th century behavioralists said that. Next, in the scope of political science, the political science explains various modern political concepts. Modern political concepts. Political science not only studies about the key political concepts, but also modern political concepts also. Here, what are the key political concepts? Liberty, equality, justice, fraternity, law, sovereignty, etc. These are the key political concepts or ideals of political science. Once again, liberty, equality, justice, fraternity, law, sovereignty. Along with these political concepts, political science studies about modern political concepts. These concepts originated in recent past. What are the modern political concepts? Political socialization, political participation, political behavior, political communication. These are present modern political concepts. Now I am going to explain one or two points with examples. One, political socialization. Political socialization includes both political and social aspects. Now how can we understand the political socialization? Example, in India, different political parties are there. Some political parties are originated based on social factors like caste, religion and language. Some political parties are originated in India based on certain social aspects like religion, language, caste. Then political participation. Individuals can participate in the political affairs of the state directly or indirectly. Through political participation, citizens can express their views on decisions, the policies or programs of the government. And one more important thing is political behavior. Political behavior. The political science explains the political behavior of the individuals. Political behavior of the individuals. The political behavior of the individuals can be changed from time to time, especially in times of elections. In times of elections, certain factors will influence the political behavior of the individuals. Here, which factors will influence the political behavior of the individuals? According to my knowledge, 3 M's. What are the 3 M's? 1 M is meant for money. Second is material. Third one is muscle power. These are the 3 M's. Money, material, muscle power. These factors will influence the political behavior of the individuals. Dear students, I am going to explain one more point, a part of scope of political science, that is study of public policies. Study of public policies. At first, political science explains about the public policies. Here, different political philosophers have given definitions to the political science based on so many factors. Here, David Easton, Gabriel Almond, Charles Merriam. Like this, political philosophers said that political science is a policy science. Political science is considered as a policy science. Who said that? David Easton, Gabriel Almond, Charles Merriam. Like these writers considered the political science as a policy science. Policy science. Then these writers emphasized the study of various associations like political parties, pressure groups, mass media. Already we know political parties. Then pressure groups. What are called as pressure groups? The groups which will bring the pressure on the government to get something. They will influence the government to get something. Such groups are called as pressure groups. They are also called as lobbies. Another thing, mass media means newspapers and television channels. Television channels. So on what reason? Here we are studying about these institutions, political parties, pressure groups, mass media. Because these associations will bring the pressure on the government. They bring the pressure on the government in formulation of policies on government. It means here these institutions will play an important role while preparing the public policies on government. For which purpose? To get something from the government. To get something from the government. And one more is, it explains major public policies. Major public policies. Here, public policies are various types. Public policies can be broadly divided into two types: internal policies and external policies. Internal policies and external policies. Internal policies are also called as domestic policies. There are various steps. Like agriculture policy, industrial policy, economic policy, population policy, women policy, reservation policy, environment policy, etc. These are various internal policies of the government. What are the important internal policies? Agriculture policy, industrial policy, economic policy, population policy, women policy, reservation policy, environment policy, etc. One more thing is external policy. External policy is called as a foreign policy. On what reason the government will formulate the foreign policy? That to maintain the good relations with other countries, to get so many types of benefits from other countries. It is about major public policies. And last one is the political science explains the formation, execution and evaluation of public policies, how they are formulated, how they are executed and how they are evaluated. Evaluated means how these policies are success, how far these public policies are success. So with this, the first most important topic, that is scope of political science, is complete.